gosh, it come out after when I took it's a monster. It's a big one. That was so cool. I went to reel my general in and I seen a torpedo coming out after it. Golly, that is so cool. So cool, so cool. Oh yes, 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 yes. It's like the 1st of September. I mean, it's, these big old girls are up there. Come on, baby. Come here, buddy. Come here, come here, come here. Oh, yes, 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 yes. Oh, I got her, I got her. Nice one, nice one, nice one. That was so cool. See that fish come running out after it. So we're on a brand new lake, you know, breaking down a natural lake. You know, I've been fortunate that I've got to do this a bunch, fishing the Major League Fishing Cups and different tournaments across the country. And a mistake that I made is I would always start deep. You know, you get to these lakes and you think clear water, they're gonna be deep. You know, it's summertime. I've learned that you always start right there at the bank and then go that way. You will find them, I feel like, a lot quicker, because when I do not catch them, I'm usually outside of them, meaning I'm too deep. And thus, you know, I started shallow and we just hit the jackpot here, got real lucky. When I look at natural lakes, you know, the problem I've always had early in my career was that there wasn't creek channels. You know, I always thought fish travel in and out of a creek, you know, depending on what season. What I've learned is you just find the flats on these natural lakes. So take the biggest flats, you know, looking at this map, you know, the red is the shallow water, the blue and the deep purple is the deepest water. So find some of these flats, and I always start shallow. I start shallow and move deeper on these natural lakes, because a lot of times these fish will get really shallow on these super clear lakes. So let's go see what we can figure out on this new lake. I'm excited to do it. So looking at this lake, you know, coming out of this little neck, you know, I've got a great, awesome looking flat right here on the right. Makes a point, 1, 2, 3 foot of water, it's slow tapering, comes out to a really good point, then drops off to deep water. And they're all over on this lake, but I'm gonna choose this very first one and see what happens. So much of what I do fishing a natural lake is visual. You know, I'm looking for sandy spots, dark spots, rock clumps, anything different. You know, on these natural lakes, these fish really get up on these flats, but you got to find something different on that flat. So really pay attention to the bottom and things out in front of you. And obviously the further away you can see, whatever it may be that day, the sand spot, the dark spot, the rocks, you know, the better the chances you have of catching a bass off of it. Oh, so we came out here a little bit deeper and I feel like I got a good one. I don't know yet. It's a whole lot bigger than what I had. Holy smokes, what do I got? We started up there shallow, and it's what I do. I start moving in and out, in and out. Good night. Oh, looky here, jumping. It's a big smallmouth. A lot of times on these natural lakes, those flats, you know, because they relate to drops, don't get me wrong, but I found a lot of times they just like these open areas and these big grass beds, you know, to where we don't necessarily always have that in man-made lakes. Look at that big old long fish. Yes, 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 yes. One of the great things about natural lakes, you know, I've learned that once I can get over the creek channel, the big drop-off issue that I was always hung up on, they're fairly easy to break down because you don't have those things. You know, and when you think about it, like in this lake, I've got boat docks, I've got reeds, sand patches, grass, and that's really it. So, you know, I'm just gonna spend a little time in each until I figure out what is gonna be the best for this lake. You know, I just always try to identify what all the bass holding options are in a lake when I get to it. You know, in this one I got docks, reeds, offshore grass, open spots. So I gotta be on one of those three. Well, so far, the largemouth seem to be up in the reeds. Not a giant, but it's a nice one. Nice little largemouth. Thanks, buddy. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Nice fish. Something that I learned, you know, that just amazed me is how shallow these fish will get on these shallow docks on these natural lakes. I don't know if we'll have fish on these, but if you do have fish on them, one of the spots that I always look, if you think about how shallow they are, when they go to push those boats on, one of the deepest spots is always right there underneath the motor. It kind of digs out a little hole, and that's always just one of the spots that I like to try because it's the deepest spot up here. Oh gosh, it's a smallmouth. What the heck? Holy smokes, there's another one with it. He's going back up under the dock. I thought it was a bluegill because it was just going tick, 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 tick. And it was a smallmouth. That is so cool. So cool. Yes, yes. And it's not a little one. This might be as bigger than that one we had out there. Oh man, there's a nice one. Look at that one. Yes, yes, yes. Oh gosh, can't get it out. What a fish. Aren't those things pretty? I'm breaking down how I fish a natural lake. So far I found that a wacky rig general on shallow flats, reeds, and near boat docks has been most successful. That's my setup, just a platinum reel. You know, that's the size 3 or the 3000. Bass Pro Shops platinum reel works great. I've got a 6'9" rod. If I turn that over, maybe you can see that there, just the 6'9" medium action rod. Works really well. 15-pound XPS braid to an 8-pound leader, little straight shank hook, and a 5-inch general. When throwing this weightless worm, you know, this weightless general, I don't work it back to the boat. I'm gonna throw it out there, let it fall to the bottom, slack line. Then once it's fallen to the bottom, I just pick it up a couple times, shake it, let it fall back down to the bottom. It's not a bait that I'm gonna work all the way back to the boat. A couple reasons. I got an exposed hook, so I'm increasing my chances to getting snagged or picking up this moss. 2, it's a bait that really performs on the fall. So that's when they bite it 99% of the time, is really on that initial fall or the pickup and the second fall. Don't overwork that bait. Don't waste a lot of time bringing it back to the boat. Keep making casts, keep the bait out in front of the boat. I have found that it's a lot more successful doing that. I don't know what I got. Oh, nice largemouth. I love it. I don't know what to say else about it, but I just love it. I love it, I love it, I love it. Come here, buddy. Come here, come here. Oh, I'm lipping that fish because I could feel those crushers hitting that line. All right. That's a nice one. Thanks, man. I really like making long casts when I'm in this clear of water. I don't like it when they go to running through the cattails with 8-pound test. Come on, buddy, come the other way. There you go, there you go, there you go. Come on out, come on out. Awesome, awesome. Oh, that's a nice one too. That is a nice one too. Man, that's awesome, just to be able to catch both of them. Just smallmouth and largemouth going down the bank. He engulfed it. I gotta get some pliers. All right, I got it. All right. Thanks, bud. All right, you ready? There you go. Today I discovered that the shallow boat docks and the shallow reeds, those were the keys. That's where I caught all my fish. But if this hadn't worked, I would have moved deeper. You know, I always want to start shallow, then move deep. If I had to have gone deep, it would have been deeper grass, outside grass lines, maybe humps, rock piles, any transition where it goes from grass to sand to rock. Those would have been the areas that I would have had to look, had that shallow bite not work. Oh, there's one right there. Let me catch him. Went towards it. Oh gosh, my bill's not closed. Oh, that's a good one too. Sight fishing in the summertime. Oh, that's fun. Golly. All right, guys, there it is. That is how I broke down a natural lake. I mean, it's I know we didn't get out deep today, and there is always the aspect of possible deep fish, but start shallow, and you can't start shallow enough. Don't forget that. No matter how clear or how warm you think that water is, start shallow. You know, for me, it was that weightless worm, both largemouth and smallmouth. What a fun day. What fun lakes to catch them, because you got both of them, you can catch them both. It's pretty awesome. Thank you, girl.